If you miss playing FPS games from the 90s, there's no better way than getting it at the source. Developers of classic shooters like Doom and Quake come together to bring the retro style to the new age. With its pixel art style and first-person perspective, the game is a certified nostalgia trip that'll bring you back to that first time that you played an FPS game. Wrath isn't child's play though. Its open-level design leaves you vulnerable in 15 different maps, with 3 Guardians of the Old World to take down once and for all. Since its full release, developer Killpixel has unfortunately decided to remove multiplayer entirely. Still, as a strictly single-player game, Wrath's hardcore gameplay is worth the hours of investment. In a newer realm of first-person gameplay, Pacific Drive challenges you to survive a Pacific Northwest road trip with a nuclear twist. Cut down to its essence, this is an adventure game with roguelike elements. Your old station wagon is your lifeline, and your garage is your base of operations. Head out to the Olympic exclusion zone, investigate weird phenomena, and make sure you bring back enough materials to make your future ride smoother. Every run is a different beast with weirder and weirder anomalies as you uncover the secret of the exclusion zones. The rides are long and the stakes are always high.
Together for victory!
Together for liberty!
Together for liberty!
Together, they fight for freedom. Will you?
In Helldivers, true democracy is a crusade against bugdom. Arrowhead continues the bullet diplomacy in the sequel to their satirical shooter. Dive into the battlefield in teams of 4 and work together to bring peace by raining fire on every alien inhabitant. It's simple. Step up to the plate, or friendly fire will get you squashed along with them. Along with frantic teamfights and top-notch gameplay, Helldivers is also noted for its balance. While it has microtransactions, it doesn't feel unfair.
Multiple helmets and armor sets for under $10. Now,
if you can stomach the occasional server issue, Helldivers 2 is a hell of a lot of fun.
Freedom forever!
Tekken put on a fresh face in this latest installment with a redesigned roster and a new battle system. The heat system soups up the action, setting the stage for aggressive plays and exciting comebacks. The training tools definitely help too, leveling the playing field for newcomers and giving veterans a place to sharpen their skills. The latest updates have already brought new features and Tekken Shop content, and there may be even more to come.
Honor your oath, or bring me back. But don't leave me like this.
It's $16.95 in New Eden, and you're a couple of banishers tasked with lifting curses that afflict the whole town, including your beloved. Everyone has a rich story to tell, but your choice ultimately decides their fate. Choices from the core of the Don't Nod game experience and this new action RPG only raises the stakes. It's technically more impressive in combat and visual presentation. Plus, the emotional story deepens your investment and makes the necessary decisions even more difficult.
I banish you.
The sequel to The Forest brings you back into the open cannibal woods, this time in search of a billionaire's daughter, in a map much larger and more impressive than the last. Despite the gorgeous presentation, it's no less horrific and it adds new challenges to hinder your survival. Each season is a host of tiny roadblocks that, with their passing, might even render your hard work useless. Thankfully, you'll have company, in friends or AI companions. The full release last February brought a laundry list of improvements, and it's only getting better from here. In Oblivion Override, you play a combat robot who infiltrates the Dulce base to discover the secrets of robot civilization. The game has smooth, responsive combat with a character that feels fully equipped from the get-go. It's action from the first minute, and it only gets better from there, with a variety of playstyles to try out and bosses to defeat. Sure, the localization is less than perfect, but as one reviewer puts it, ultimately the gameplay's so good that it eclipses everything else. Momodora's last chapter is a dark and delightful adventure. This curtain call brings forth all the elements we love from the series: gorgeous art style, compelling storytelling, and Metroidvania exploration. While it brings Momodora to a fitting end, designed to be enjoyable even without playing the previous games, Moonlet Farewell is also a great starting point for newcomers to the series. More than half a decade since it was released on PS Vita, the original spin-off has finally arrived on the PC. And with all the DLCs and a few more bells and whistles, it looks as fresh as ever. With its ultra-wide support and higher frame rates, among other quality-of-life improvements, this port is considered by some as the superior Dragon Quest builders on the PC. More than building and crafting, it also carries the essence of Dragon Quest in a compelling original story. Let your creativity soar while you restore the city of Alefgard.
Yeah, let's do this.
The latest Like a Dragon title takes you on a grand getaway from Japan to sunny Hawaii. Aside from the tropical vacation, Infinite Wealth has a wealth of upgrades. From quality of life improvements to new mechanics, each add to the intuitiveness and balance of the open world. And as for new minigames, there's food delivery, fishing, and the biggest addition yet, a new island management game where you gather and build to restore the island to its former glory. It's safe to say that Infinite Wealth lives up to its name. After a year in early access, the multiplayer Outlast game is finally out. And if you think things get a little easier with friends, you'd be wrong. As a human guinea pig in a Cold War experiment, use your night goggles and best stealth moves to maneuver around Murkoff to earn your escape. You'll also be collecting documents and resources that help you break free from trial. With friends or without, the trials are no less terrifying. The Outlast Trials has 2 events coming up soon, plus a full season that brings major updates like new rigs, trials, and more.
You think you can save Lyria? What a fool.
Relink is a fantasy adventure that delivers on the basic tenets of an RPG. Noble quests steeped in effective combat and challenging boss fights. As a sequel, it ups the ante on real-time action. The pace is blazing fast, and mixing and matching from its roster of 20 characters gives you so much variety. Aside from your party of 4, you can even request the aid of friends in co-op multiplayer. A few critics don't love its almost too simplistic narrative. But if you like hack-and-slash games with some Monster Hunter flair, then you have a few thousand gamers to vouch for it.
I just wanted to say thank you.
Turnip Boy is on another criminal rampage. After his stint committing tax evasion, this sequel sees him robbing a bank in the name of roguelike adventure. While the original felony might have been Turnip Boy's attempt at justice, there's no justification for his actions here. With new guns in hand, the only goal is to steal as much money as possible. The absurdity gets leveled up with all his new food-based friends. As silly as it might be, developer Snoozy Kazoo was serious about features. The sequel is a big step up in combat and roguelite mechanics. Turnip Boy's new hijinks may be short, but it's jam-packed with procedurally generated stages, weapons, and silly hats to collect. Few games showcase their style in this debut title. An anomaly agent, Earth's destruction hangs in a balance, and it's up to Agent 70 to eliminate all anomalies. From start to finish, the game oozes with flair. It's heavily inspired by Katana Zero, and it wears it on its sleeve. The pixel graphics emphasize the lightning-fast movements, and the weapons and upgrades keep combat interesting from one stage to the next. While it might get repetitive at later stages, its sense of humor and visuals could still keep you hooked for hours on end.
All right, let's head inside. Are you ready, leader?
PS2's Persona 3 is back. Reload went far beyond a modern repaint. It's a complete overhaul with new content, improved gameplay, and full voice acting. Persona 3's story is timeless, and Reloaded's new character interactions gives it added depth. New social events open doors for learning more about favorite characters, and the voice cast fully brings them to life. These interactions even give way to new perks in combat. Though a few things still feel dated, the slick UI and modernized graphics bring it up to par with the latest games and keep it fresh even for old fans.
Justice wins again.
Mission complete.
For flashy, side-scrolling action, this latest BlazBlue title can give you your fix. Entropy Effect brings the stylish combos to a cyberspace future. It's unlike other BlazBlue titles, but it brings its roster and fighting game feel to a new roguelike formula. The 10 playable characters offer a variety of playstyles, each as satisfying as the next. It's this variety that makes Entropy Effect so addictively replayable.
Let's say hello to Jimbo. He's just a joker.
Seeing what seems like a simple card game topping the list might be surprising, but this is a roguelike deck builder like never before. To play on classic poker, every round has a target score called blinds that you have to beat with poker hands. Jokers help you fire up your hands with upgrades and card synergies that get you those high-scoring combos. That is, if you can craft the perfect deck to go against anything. Every run is a gamble, and that's what makes Balattra's roguelike progression so fun. Play another round, get card upgrades, and maybe this time, Lady Luck will be on your side. In Balatro, you can only go all in.